From a Wall Street executive's health transformation to the leading gaming energy drink in the world, G Fuel has built an incredible brand. They've got 2.9 million Instagram followers and partnerships with major brands like Sony and Warner Brothers, but they're missing out on millions in Amazon revenue. In this breakdown, I'm going to show you exactly how they could dramatically increase their Amazon sales with the right optimization strategy. All we talk about on this channel is how to add at least an additional $1 million to your brand's yearly revenue using Amazon. We'll be condensing the lessons that we've learned from managing over $200 million last year on Amazon alone, simply to help you make more money. G Fuel's situation highlights these principles perfectly. From their keyword weakness to their untapped PPC potential, I'm revealing the exact strategies that we would use to help scale their brand on Amazon, and you can apply them to your own brand today. So without further ado, let's hop in. All right, what's up, guys? Let's hop right into it. G Fuel is an energy drink for gamers, and they know their target market so well. They've got the marketing dialed in, their branding. I mean, take a good look at what they're doing. Hype sauce, energy formula from G Fuel. They've really honed in some great stuff. So we're going to be talking about the top of funnel strategy that they're using to generate awareness on many different platforms that are outside of Amazon, and how that halo effect has that trickle down economics, sending sales to Amazon. But then for the D2C pros, where Amazon is not your bread and butter per se, we're going to get very tactical and talk about what G Fuel could be doing to skyrocket their sales on Amazon. Very tactical stuff, titles, bullet points, pay-per-click strategy, everything. This is a very thorough deep dive audit, okay? Very shortly about myself and why you should listen. All I've done for the last 10 years is sell things on Amazon, okay? And I've done it at a very large scale. I exited my own brand for multiple seven figures over 6 years ago to this private equity giant, Thrasio. They crashed and burned my brand. It's all good. They paid me. And since then, we've been running Amazon accounts for the biggest brands in the world: Ridge Wallets, Hexclad, Woobles, BK Beauty, tons of Shark Tank brands. It's incredible. I need to update this. We literally have over 80 Amazon experts covering the globe. All right. So we're going to get super tactical. This is not just about selling a course. All right. This is about how to run $100 million plus Amazon operation, okay? And how you can apply these same tactics to your brand. So, really pay close attention here. Watch till the end of the video. We've got some amazing stuff. We've got a lot of, cards up our sleeve that you can play for your own brand. Without further ado, G Fuel, okay? So G Fuel. Cliff Morgan was the creator of this brand, Wall Street guy, Wolf of Wall Street type fellow. He wanted out of the game, and he got really interested in health supplements, okay? One of his friends in the space said, hey man, this product could be great for gamers. This dude's been in the game for a long time. 2010, he made a pre-workout drink called Pre-Training Formula, PTF. I mean, that's a long time ago. Maybe he read 4 Hour Work Week, and Tim Ferriss had some good stuff about starting supplement stuff back in the day. But man, 14 years in the game. Next thing you know, you got a partnership with Call of Duty. All right, top of the top. That's insane. So Amazon only people, the game's getting harder and harder. Competition from China is steeper than ever. We got tariffs to deal with. There's a lot going on. Figure out how to build a great brand. And G Fuel is a phenomenal brand to learn from, study from. Damn, look at that amazing creative graphic design stuff. This is really funny how they do things. Their TikTok game is incredible. Now, their target market is on TikTok. Everybody's on TikTok, right? But look at that, 1.4 million followers. They know what's up. I'm sure they got plenty of amazing memes, different things like that. But 26.6 million likes. That's crazy, which probably means, 100, 150, 200 million impressions just from their just from their own unique TikTok. That spills over to Amazon in dramatic ways, okay? Instagram, 2.9 million followers. It's really insane what they're doing, okay? So really crushing on the social game. That's a completely different skill set than Amazon, obviously. But guys, it all depends on the product. If you got a boring product, figure out how to bring it to life. G Fuel doesn't have that problem. An energy drink for gamers. These guys live and breathe on the internet. So this is just really perfect, and they're fully taking advantage of that. And that leads to a huge brand and search volume spillover on the platform. But nevertheless, guys, look at G Fuel's Instagram. Look at their TikTok. I'm sure they're doing huge things on Twitch as well, right? What does that translate to on Amazon? Now let's hop in the platform here. This is Smart Scout, amazing tool. Summing up G Fuel's Monthly revenue, the last 12 months, 16 million. Good job, guys. I would love to run your account. I think we could do a whole lot better. I hope we have the opportunity to do that. Take a look here, though. 800K just in the last month. $30 price point. They're probably looking at $4 or $5 cost per goods, right? They got licensing stuff they've got to deal with as well, but imagine that. I'd probably get it for $5, guys, $6. Huge margin in there. Exclusive seller. They're slinging some units and they're growing. Very cool. Good for them. Smart Sale, guys, if you're not on Amazon, you're trying to get on Amazon, this is the best tool ever for really breaking down market research to figure out how your main competitors are doing, what keywords they're spending money on, which products they have that are crushing it. You can really reverse engineer the top competitors in the space, get a right price point, come after them really hard. Okay, so this is just publicly available data in the tool Smart Scout, which we love. Nuka-Cola, Hype Sauce, Miami Nights, Sonic Energy. I mean, they've got Elden Ring, Crimson Tears. They've got such good branding, and look how much revenue they're doing for each product, where they're ranking in the subcategory, growth month over month, some going up, some going down. Nuka-Cola, 38% on the rise, okay? And then what their listings look like. I mean, this is like, looks like right out of Vice City, right? I mean, beautiful, got that purple pink neon. Beautiful, pops out, 40 servings. Got the motion blur of the fruit popping around it. And we got many different flavors here. Boom, all these different flavors on one listing. 4.5 stars, 17,000 plus reviews. And let's see how their title's looking, right? The G Fuel, brand first, of course. Miami Nights is their flavor. Energy drink powder, that's the main keyword there. Pre-workout caffeine mix for gaming. Okay, so they've put a lot of thought into their title and to their listings. Very cool. I love their branding, and they clearly spent a lot of money on all the graphic design team and stuff like that. So let's look at the different marketplaces. The United States, that's it. Canada is so easy to sell in. That's not hard to set up at all. And honestly, like, especially since they're on their socials of TikTok and Instagram so hard, I mean, they would just do huge volume. Amazon, I think, changed the name of it. It used to be called the NARF program, where it was like a one-click button to sell in these different marketplaces. But you're going to get these type of results. Nearly nothing, right? We could get them set up in Canada so easily. I've done it for my own brands, and it will probably add 5 to 10% of sales, right? So they could be looking at doing well over 1,000 units a month, if not 2,000 units. In Canada alone, definitely I would highly recommend getting in Canada. And if you're not in Canada and you're doing some numbers, if you have a 7-figure business and you're not in Canada, you're really missing out on some numbers there, okay? Here's different sales trends. So you can see, as well, if you're coming on Amazon, which periods are you going to crush it with the most. Now this is, let's see, they had a peak in December. Well, a lot of gamers got that for Christmas, I guess, right? But nevertheless, this is really nice because it's not that seasonal of a product. They're making money year round, and that's amazing. They've also got that very, this is our price point over time. Same thing, competitor research, guys. Study your competitors, know what your margins are, and you can see if they're changing their price a lot over time or if it's pretty static, so you can understand what to expect when you hop into a new market. All right, so now let's look at some different subcategory analysis of the sports nutrition endurance and energy powder market, like the greater market that's on Amazon. So they're making a lot of their money just from their branded search terms, of course, but what does the greater market look like? So this is one of my favorite tools. It's called Seller Sprite. Many of you guys have heard of Jungle Scout. You heard of Helium 10. This is the Chinese version. I think they have like not a billion. They got like 1 million users for their SaaS tool. That's a dream come true. And it's for a reason. This is crazy thorough data, okay? So just in the last 6 months, in this subcategory of endurance and energy powders, okay, there have been 11 new sellers to the game in the last 6 months, okay? So we were analyzing the top 100 here. Average price point, $39. That's pretty high, okay? Units sold for the past 30 days. This is of the newer sellers, just doing 16,000, okay, in revenue. But this is a very big TAM. Now let's look at the top 10 in this space of the endurance and energy powders. Top 10 is doing $900,000 a month, which is where G Fuel falls, as we were discussing that. Price point $37.88. G Fuel is actually a little bit cheaper than that. That's pretty cool. Here's some of the main keywords that Seller Sprite has referenced. We've got some electrolyte keywords. and how they're trending over time. I think though, for the most part, and obviously there's huge top players. Everybody knows Liquid IV and different players in the game. Ultima got that one. Santa Cruz Paleo crushing it. It's more of a healthy alternative, okay? Tons of different flavors and stuff. But this is a very different market, right? G Fuel has basically carved out their own niche. Hey, here's this energy drink, but we're not going against the bros in the gym. We're going against this is like the people that are super into competitive gaming, and they want that edge. So what an interesting niche to carve out. It's crazy, this e-com world we live in. Very cool as well. Same thing for the market, maybe showing some similar spikes to what we saw for G Fuel by themselves. Here's what the brand concentration looks like. Ultima was at the top there. Optimum Nutrition, old school guys in the game. They've been there for a long time. G Fuel coming in at number 5. Okay, so we can see this is a sales concentration, the brand concentration here of how those sales are distributed. G Fuel number 5, they're doing great. Okay, this also breaks it down, kind of the level of competition in the space. Only 49% of all the products have A+ content, which helps increase the conversion rate of your listing. You should have A+ content if you're selling on Amazon, and video. Okay, you got to have both of those. And this basically just lets you know if you're coming into a new category and you analyze this in Seller Sprite, do a market analysis. That's the section this is in. And you can say, 50% of the people don't even have A+ or video. Well, hey, that's a sign that the level of competition may be lower because they're just missing out on some best practices, okay? Let's analyze where the seller's coming from. Now, in this time of tariffs, which if you're importing all your products from China, that could really, that's going to change some things. That's for sure. Supplements, though, are really like the holy grail of e-commerce stuff, right? Hey, they're made in America. They have very high margins, and the TAM on it is huge. I mean, and the level of competition from China, crazy low. If you're going to look in pretty much any other category on Amazon, you're going to see 70 to 80% of the sellers located in China. And often they're really willing to work for much smaller margins, and they're just super pro sellers, to be honest, in many different ways. Their listings might not look the best, but they're super cheap. And they're really willing to take a loss sometimes, it seems, to play that game. Supplements is a hard category to succeed in, but the prize is so big, okay, and the margins are fat. And this is very cool to see, right? Low, only 5% Chinese sellers. It's basically they're not really in the equation compared to every other brand, and you're not dealing with tariffs, okay? And here we can also see sort of sales proportion based upon how long you've been in the game. So how easy is it for them to penetrate the market, okay? And, well, hey, look at this. 61% of the people have been in the game for more than 3 years. This is the top 100, okay, of this subcategory. So less than 6 months, 11 people. We saw that earlier. So definitely it's weighted way on the side, right? You need a lot of reviews. G Fuel's got 17,000 reviews there. Different launch time trends and how much they're selling. Like, boom, here's a peak 2016. Someone's been in the game for 9 years. They're making some big sales here. And let's see, 56% of all of the sellers have over 500 reviews. These are the type of metrics that you should be looking at so you know, like, hey, what do you need to play the game? Well, hey, if you're coming into this category, which is really competitive, you're going to need at least 500 reviews to play the game. And check this out, sales distribution by star rating. 56% of the people have 4.3 stars and above. 4.3 stars is a very important number because that is a line. When you got 4.3, Amazon will show 4.5. Okay, if you have 4.2 stars, it's going to show 4 stars. Your sales will probably drop by 30% if you go from 4.3 to 4.2. So, and this is just showing you got to have a great product to come into this category. Price point, sweet spot, we're looking at $30 to $40. So this is all these different sales concentration things based upon price, based upon rating, based upon how long have you been selling, all these different ways to look at where the sales are concentrated. Now let's look at keyword performance, okay? We're going to be using Helium 10 here. So we've got a whole stack of tools that we're using. I have a subscription for pretty much everything on the internet because each thing has a slightly different thing I like about it. That's just how it is. We're going to compare search results for energy drink powder, okay? That's the #1 non-branded search term. Non-branded means it's not saying G Fuel or any of the derivatives of their branded name, okay? So energy drink powder, how are they doing? Well, it's interesting. G Fuel, I probably wouldn't say G is that is a branded search term, right? But G Fuel, 19,000 search volume. Energy drink powder, that's crazy. Their branded search term is bigger than the number one non-branded search term in the category. That's just a sign of being an amazing marketer, okay? Very cool to see. Energy drink powder, so obviously G Fuels, they're ranking number one organically. Energy drink powder, though, they're ranking number 12. So like they are an energy drink powder, and they should be in the top 10 for this. And their sponsored rank just number 12, or actually number 10 here. Organic rank number 12. If I were them, I'd probably be spending a little money to try to win this. Same thing, caffeine powder, organic rank number 18, sponsor rank number 24. Gamer Sups, good organic ranking, and they're pushing that hard. Okay, I bet they have a very good ROAS because that's extremely relevant to their group of buyers. Okay, let's look at another tool here and another great way to analyze the data. This is Data Dive. Okay, and this is one of kind of the main dashboard of it. Data Dive begins by putting your brand and your top competitors into the tool. It reverse engineers, essentially like how it gives your brand a score. You've got your ranking juice, and you can see basically how optimized is your listing from an SEO perspective compared to the top competitors in your space, and how much money is there to be made. And it allows you to reverse engineer essentially the strategies and gives you a roadmap to essentially beat your top competitors in the space. So this is what I do if someone's not on Amazon, they want to be on Amazon. Well, I'm going to find out essentially what subcategory are they in, who are the top people in the space, what keywords are they ranking for, what's the cost per click, and what sort of conversion rate should we expect, and we make a roadmap. And if you're interested in getting on Amazon or just scaling your brand and you're like a 7, 8, or 9 figure D2C brand, especially if you're a brand in the supplement space, I love working with supplement brands, reach out to us. Love to set up a meeting. We can do a very thorough audit just like this one for your brand. So this is interesting because there's so much money to be made in this category. And Data Dive here is saying only 22% of all the top ranking competitors rank very strong when it comes to SEO. So that's a great opportunity here. And they're going up against some big people like Optimum Nutrition. They've been around forever, mainly in the gym space. And we've got some other ones. So this is what the output of Data Dive looks like. You're going to find out how long people have been selling, what is their price point, their ratings, their sales for individual ASINs, keywords on page 1 percentage. This is one of the things I love. So you're going to grab it will either automatically grab all the competitors, or you can give it all of those competitors, right? And it will then grab all of the most important keywords here. And here's the search volume. Energy drink powder, boom. Now you're going to see that's a different number than what you saw above. We're using every different tool. We don't need to know the exact number because different platforms like Helium 10 and Data Dive and Seller Sprite and DataRova, all of my favorite tools that I have subscriptions for to analyze keyword ranking data on Amazon, they're going to have different numbers, but it's directional. G Fuel ranking very weak, guys. They're crushing it, right? They have like an 8-figure plus Amazon account, and it's ranking very weak. But this is one of the things that I love. Keywords on page 1 percentage, 39%. And then we got Optimum Nutrition, 98% of their keywords are on page 1. So we got to find out what we're missing out on here. 66%. Actually, everyone, except for Ghost, they've got too low of a percentage on page 1, right? If you're not on page 1, you're not making money, essentially. Energy drink powder, powder energy drink, energy powder, best energy drink powder. They're not ranking in the top 10 for a lot of those, and we got to get them on there. So very cool. There's a lot of upward potential for this brand, and I would love to explore that. Here's also some listing improvements we would use. This is also with a tool, Data Dive, and it has a really cool function here. Essentially, Data Dive calls their SEO strategy ranking juice. And so it's going to reverse engineer all of the main competitors in the space, gather those keywords, and will make it pretty much dummy proof to make a phenomenal title, bullet points, descriptions, kind of back-end keywords, and even gives you a flat file upload to make it very easy. And we have a whole team to do this as well. Like I said, we have 80 people, 80 Amazon experts all over the world, United States, the UK, Europe, Mexico, Dominican Republic, all over the world, Philippines, Pakistan, carrying out everything, supply chain management, pay-per-click management, creative, conversion rate optimization, all these different things. So we're just constantly updating and making sure that we are creating the absolute best listings any way you want to cut it. We also use Data Dive to help build out initial PPC campaigns. I won't go in crazy depth about it, but we have developed an incredibly cool system using the tool called Scale Insights. I'm not related to that tool, but check it out. It's a rule-based PPC tool, and essentially we've created a system that has about 87 different rules, when to go from auto to broad to phrase to exact, negative, targeting, everything, okay? Data Dive, though, if you're a newer seller, makes it very easy to grab your most important keywords and find out which keywords we need those most highly relevant, high search volume keywords. We want to put those in exact form, of course, because we know if we want to win the category, we have to win these keywords, okay? For ultra relevant terms, also launch the keywords into phrase and broad campaigns as well. We've got these here, and crystal clear, this is what we would do for G Fuel. And like I said, we would love to work with them, okay? Here's the current ad spend strategy, though. We're going back to Smart Scout here. Check it out. G Fuel, search terms. They've got an ad spy tool where we can see what are they spending money on. This is crazy that Smart Scout has this tool, okay? They've got a mix of competitor terms, branded terms, and some generic stuff. Gamer Subs, I was checking that out earlier. Gamer Subs, boom. That's a competitor that they're spending a lot of money on, right? That's an obvious direct competitor. Gamer Subs probably straight copied the wonderful people at G Fuel. G Fuel, I would love to help you guys run your Amazon account and take these guys out. Back to this, though. So it seems like G Fuel in the last 30 days was spending around $34,000. Is this number perfect? Probably not. But I'm glad they're targeting their competitors. They're spending a lot of money on their own branded search volume. We have some phenomenal things to make sure that you're not overspending. We just want to make sure you secure your market share. So when it comes to D2C brands, if you're getting on Amazon, make sure that you have at least 85% of your market share for your branded search terms. Now, everyone wants 100%. That's probably not possible. And essentially, spending money on your branded search volume sucks, right? Your branded search terms. But it's basically like paying a tax to make sure people don't steal your stuff. And, that's what you got to do. So they're spending money. We want to spend the least amount while maintaining a maximum market share. But they're spending, $50,000 plus. Gamer Subs, hey, they're coming after them. They're spending $60,000, $70,000 over some different variations of that keyword. Dragon Ball Z, spending $6,700. That'd be interesting to see if they were coming up at the top when I search for that. G Fuel powder. They've got a lot of branded stuff that they're doing. Energy supplements. And this is where they've got the top spots, different groupings and stuff like that. This gets very granular, but G Fuel is actually just targeting a tiny pool of possible search terms. Okay, so keyword detective. This grabs some top players in the space, Ghost and Cellucor. Okay, check this out. This shows the overlap in keywords. And if you are to click on that, this would show you the keywords that they are all spending money on. But hey, check this out. Boom. This is where Ghost and Cellucor. Ghost is, boom. They're also going for the same thing. So there's quite a few brands that are all playing the same game, all right, of this. That they copy G Fuel, essentially, right? The gamer market. And so I would want to see what these keywords are and figure out if G Fuel can really profitably spend to scale by going after that more aggressively. Okay. Organic versus paid stuff here. So this is organic and that's paid. So be aware of that side of the equation here. Also, just with Data Dive, very cool. They have a suggested bid and range section, which is amazing to see. It's not going to be perfect, but literally according to Data Dive, there's 379,000 keywords with cheap cost per click that they could possibly be targeting, right? If you are spending money in the supplement space, cost per clicks are often very expensive. So be aware of that. But nevertheless, you got to find those gaps in the market, okay? Let's look at some competitors here and how they're doing, okay? We got G Fuel. And honestly, G Fuel, I'm a fan of what they do. And I think they have great branding for the most part. Ghost, they're doing a similar thing here, right? This is their avatar, which I think it's good to have your buyer persona, your ideal customer avatar in the listing. Okay. especially Ghost. That's like a direct one-to-one competitor essentially. And for the most part, I think G Fuel has done a very good job about targeting with the style, the look, and the feel and stuff. Branding and marketing seems to be their high point. I think they could be much more aggressive with doing some Amazon strategies though, and really spend in on the most important keywords that they need to rank for on their brand. All right, let's look at another tool here. This one's from Amazon. It's one of my favorites, called Product Opportunity Explorer. It's going to show us very cool stuff about who is buying the product and what do they love, what do they hate about it. There's a positive association between products with high sales and products that mention caffeine. Okay, I love caffeine, can't work without it. Gamers love caffeine, it seems. So G Fuel's actually did a good job of highlighting that at the very top. Like they let you know this is what they got, and they say clean caffeine in it as well. So people are going to feel like they're not going to crash afterwards, okay? This also shows, though, in the same category, what a lot of people are saying when it comes to a negative usage of the tool, of the product, a negative use of the product. And, many people are saying, if it's got aspartame in it, that stuff is junk, all right? And if it's got aspartame in it, people do not like that. So if you are wanting to create the next energy powder drink product, come in here and read this, okay? If it tastes like tea and it's got aspartame in it, people don't want it. Stevia, all natural, doesn't taste as good either. So, I don't know, consider monk fruit, right? There's many, many different options that don't taste terrible and, don't have aspartame or this stuff into that. People are just saying, hey, they don't like. Amazon tells us this in the Product Opportunity Explorer. All right. Also, very important things. Energy level. Yes, of course, it's got to work. And G Fuel does have an image highlighting all of these benefits, which is awesome. But they don't have enough lifestyles or real people using their images. So, what's reading those reviews is going to be super important. And if it's a gaming thing, you need some kids in a very cool gaming chair with the controls in their hand, having a blast and dominating their competition thanks to the focus that they get from G Fuel. So that's kind of how we would put a spin on their listings, although they've honed it in, they do a good job. So let's talk about some things that they're doing very well with. So on the positive side, 20% of the people mentioned good energy booster, gives energy, it's all given energy. And when it comes to the taste, 12% said delicious, tasty, taste delicious, fine taste. So a lot of people like the taste, and it's actually a very well-reviewed product overall. But this is going to give you a very good insight if you guys are developing a product in any category of how to really study the market and make improvements on things and what things you have to nail in. So check out the Product Opportunity Explorer, guys, and you got customer review insights, whether that's on the positive side or the negative side, because some people are just going to, it could be the same on the positive and negative. The taste. Someone says this tastes horrible. So being aware of those different things, topic impact on star rating. So this, it seems like your real artificial sweeteners, that's a big one here, it seems. But for the most part, it's a very positively reviewed product. Now, let's play with a little bit of AI, right? It's all about making your listing speak to your ideal buyer persona. Okay, so grabbing a lot of this information, we're just going to play around a little bit and say, feed some of this data into AI, right? So we want really one benefit per image and really, boom, call that out so people can see it and receive the message very clearly. Feature, clean energy with no jitters or crash, a confident woman, walking this way. Now, also realistically, we just put this together to play around with some AI and make some cool stuff very quickly. My guess is there's probably like 80-90% male buyers, right? Male customers here. So we're just playing around with this, but I mean, look at that. Really captures, ChatGPT 4.0 really captures text very well. And we're playing around with that a lot and just having fun with it, right? I would put more things as well in this, like you're in a room, like a really badass room to play video games, of course. And then whatever you do, a tool that we've really had a lot of fun playing with lately and is really powerful is called Jungle Ace. And Jungle Ace is amazing because it's it's like the best way to do A/B testing on Amazon. Essentially, you can change your price, change your main images, change your image stack, and then you can, it creates PPC campaigns and tests your click-through rate and conversion rate, and then allows you to pick winners. It's way better than Manage My Experiments from Amazon because it's too slow. We like to use Jungle Ace. Continuing on with some other product opportunity explorer data here, which is just such good stuff. This is the whole greater energy drink powder category. Here's everyone crushing in their category. Here's the search volume in the last 360 days, price points, average units sold per month, how the category is changing over time, who's making all the clicks, okay? Here's the search terms that occur in the category, and is that number going up? Is it going down? Who's getting the top 3 clicks, which one could assume? Probably getting the top 3 purchases. Fair to say, I think. Top 5 brands take up 81% of the click share. So that's also important to know. And we were looking at that with Seller Sprite earlier as well, as like the sales distribution, right? And so 81% of all the clicks, maybe therefore 81% of all the sales, are going to the top 5 brands. Product Opportunity Explorer in the Insights section allows you to break this down, okay? If you're gonna get into a new market on Amazon, how easy or hard is it to penetrate? That's the best way to show it. And so in summary, G Fuel is a very cool brand. They're capturing 4 to 8% of the total traffic potential on Amazon. They're doing great, but they could do way better. I mean, their branded search volume is crushing it as is. I was very impressed by that. I love their marketing, their branding, what they're doing off Amazon. I have been working with some of the best brands in the supplement space, D2C powerhouses, and I really believe like what we could do with their brand, optimizing for PPC and really making sure that they are ranking organically in the top 10 for all of their most important keywords, we could take them a bump ahead, you know. But very cool to see what they are doing on and off Amazon. And I hope this is very helpful for you. Use all of the data, right? And it's not just about having all the data, it's knowing how to take wise action about it. And so I'm making this whole video series where we're analyzing some of the most cool, the coolest brands in the world, essentially, what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong on Amazon. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll be making more of these for free $99. I hope you found it fun, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.